On the track,
bro.
you soft. You ain't no killer.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
You got to get your killer instinct and get your stuff together.
We ain't no.
On the track, you are soft. And I tell you to your face,
Look.
I come to the track meet and tell you that you're soft.
I'm telling you still to this day, that'll be the worst mistake you do. That'll be the worst.
Okay. All right, let that be said. All right, we on the internet. That's fine. But look, back to the track stuff. Like I'm saying, man, you need to step your game up.
Look,
Trayvon, you step your game up.
At the end of the day, ain't nobody getting to the line worrying about another man. Like I said, at the end of the day,
you might as well be Lamont Jacobs. Hey, Lamont Jacobs ain't got to worry about you because he know you're gonna choke in the finals. You gonna choke in the semifinals.
Oh, look.
They ain't gotta be worried about you. Why would they be worried about you? They know you gonna be good for 60 meters and fall off, or you're gonna make it to the finals anyway. So I wouldn't be worried about you either. Come on, man.
That sounds. I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the finals in one race. In one race.
In the most important time of your life, you gonna run faster than me that don't mean nothing. You gonna run faster than me that don't mean nothing, man, for real. But you ain't gonna do when the other killers out there when they show up on that line with Lamont Jacobs dude from Italian. You let an Italian dude come and take your championship, man. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
This Mr. 100K a day in the flesh, and today you guessed it right. Guess who we talking about? Your boy Trayvon Bromell. The reason why me and him have always and always will have an issue. Let's say him right now at the U.S. trials in 2021 to qualify for the Olympics in 2021. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it real with y'all. The real reason why me and him have had a beef is basically because of the way it started with his career. Trayvon Bromell was a prodigy. Coming out of high school, if anybody remembers correctly, he ran 9.99 in high school. It was wind dated. He went to college, and in his freshman year, he ended up winning the NCAA title. I think he ran 9.97 that year. He had the world junior record. He did a lot of great things with the U.S., at least the U.S. national record for juniors. So he had a nice spark when he started. So the next year, of course, he lets Andre DeGrasse at the NCAA championships come and beat him, take his NCAA title away. Then he goes to the world championships. Later on, he makes a U.S. team, goes to the world championships. After he goes to the world championships, he gets bronze. He ties for bronze at when in the race in which Bolt beat Gatlin by 100th of a second. This is 2015 in Beijing. So after that, we fast forward to 2016. In 2016, of course, he gets hurt. He makes the Olympic team, though, and he runs 9.84 that year, and then he goes to the Olympics. I didn't like the way he performed on the anchor leg. Just to recap of how he performed on the anchor leg, this is what happened, guys. Which leads us to this moment right here. This moment right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the moment that Trayvon Bromell made the Olympic team, which was a moment of redemption for him. We made the Olympic team in 2021. So everybody knows he extremely talented, has a great start. And this is how the race goes, guys, to have him qualify. So it was a great redemption story. It was great. Very great redemption story. I feel like, it was a chance for him to redeem himself. As a matter of fact, I don't think, at that point in the season, there was nobody else who really was even in the running for even considering going 9.80. No one who was actively running and had made any team, to my understanding, was able to go 9.0 at that point. He was clearly the class of the field. There was really nobody who could have even come close to him when it comes to just just a complete race. Because I always felt like he was a complete athlete. He had a complete race to his repertoire, and it was impressive, if you ask me. In that moment, we go to the Olympics. We go to the Olympic semifinals. Now, everybody knows that this is where all the pressure comes on. If you're the number one guy from the United States and you're the number one guy in the world, you're expected to go to the Olympics and do well, especially if we're talking about the 100 meters. And this is how it transpired, guys. That's Trayvon Bromell right there in lane 3. He gets out of the blocks. He gets nervous. He tightens up. He finishes the race. Couldn't see where that same spunk was that he had at the Olympic trials. That same spunk that he has at invitational meets that mean absolutely nothing. That same spunk that he has when he is running, backwards on the track where they run the base backwards so they can get tailwinds. He doesn't have that same spunk at the Olympics. So this is the race to me that defined who he really was as a person, as a man, and as an athlete. He puts his hands on his head. He's looking at the clock. He doesn't know what's going on, but he knows what's going on. That's him right there, y'all. Look at him. He knows what's going on. He knows what time it is. Yeah, that's that look you have when you know that you fucked up. You fucked up big time. And he has to deal with the reality of it. So it was at this moment right here that I lost all respect for him. This was now the second consecutive Olympics in which he underperformed. He either pretended like he stumbled at the end when he got walked down on a relay. He did horrible in the open 100 at the Olympics in 2016. Now he has another chance of redemption, and this is how he performs. He doesn't make it to the finals. So as him being a representative of the United States, especially with the history that the United States has in the 100-meter dash, it was at this moment right here. You see the look on his face? He knew he fucked up. He knew he fucked up. He knew he fucked up. It's not even a question about it. He knew he messed up. He knew that whatever he did, whatever he didn't eat that morning, something failed him. His top end speed failed him, and he fucked up. This is him right here. They got it on replay. And this is the reason why my perspective on him really changed for the worse. Absolutely for the worse. And there's no coming back from him. He had to do the walk of shame, realizing he didn't qualify for the final. Look at him. I mean, it was a horrible moment. I'm pretty sure it was a pretty devastating moment for him, and I'm certain that, he probably relives that every day. But the point that I'm making is that Trayvon Bromell represents this new generation of sprinters. Number one, he's a smaller at that point, where the Bracy's, the Trayvon Bromells, the skinny guys like Andre DeGrasse, those were the guys who seemed to be dominating in a lot of ways. They seem to be dominating, seem to be doing a lot of great things in the sport. But the problem that I have with that is that these guys do not have heart. They aren't killers. And that's why at the start of this video, you saw me telling Trayvon, hey, you don't have any heart, my brother. You're not a killer. So with you not being a killer and with you not having any heart isn't just moving forward. So we move forward past that. After things like that happen, what we do is we work into the next season. So the next season, of course, comes around and he makes the team go to World Championships. And we saw how that went. He goes and gets bronze at the World Championships. Let me show you guys exactly how that. So this is how that went, guys. This is how that went. He gets out of the blocks. He's on the outside there. He barely, literally barely squeaks by and gets the bronze medal. Now, the bronze here didn't represent anything significant to me because he was already a bronze medalist in 2015, which at the point of this time of this race, which was 7 years prior. So yes, he came back from injury, but a bronze medal at this moment didn't mark improvement. As a matter of fact, he let two guys who weren't even on the picture, who wasn't even on the scene in 2016, at least doing the things that he was doing, or 2015 doing the things that he was doing. He let these guys come and do some really great things and just basically surpass him. So his bronze medal here at the World Championships in 2022 didn't represent anything significant for me. It didn't make me feel any better about his performance in 2021. It didn't make me feel any better about him as a person. It didn't make me feel any better about the way just really his whole modus operandi. It really was still discouraging because, like I said, if you get a bronze in 2015 and you're 19 years old, and then you get a bronze in 2022 and now you're 7 years older, is that improvement? Is that improvement? Yeah, you came back from injury. We're happy to see you. God got you through that. We understand that. But you still haven't improved. As a matter of fact, your times went backwards. He was lucky to even get the bronze right there. Because I think he got the bronze by maybe 200ths of a second. So that happens. Okay, fine. We're not even going to go into any more about that. But by this point, guys, in his career, I had already called him soft. Everybody knows this. I already called him soft. I already called him a pussy. We already know that. But the thing that happened after this point is what really disappointed me about him. Because the following season comes 2023, and he goes indoors. When he goes indoors, this is what happens. He runs against Noah Lyles in this race. He loses indoors. You know, Noah Lyles runs around. He does his little thing. You know, he lets Noah Lyles taunt him. This is what really got Noah Lyles started last year in 2023 and got Noah Lyles on his track to be who he is now and end up subsequently winning the World Championship outdoors. So that's another thing. That's another thing that took place, and we're not even going to dwell too much on that. But what happened next is what really bothered me, because after running that race, instead of going to Milrose games, what Trayvon Bromell did next was this. He goes to some meet at Clemson University, some BS meet, and he runs a PR of 6:42. 6:42 at a meet. And he gets 3 races in one day. 3. He runs 360-meter races in one day against bums, against nobody, college kids. A race that means absolutely nothing, y'all. That race meant absolutely nothing. So I felt that was a mistake. And let me just tell you guys, after that race, he wasn't the same. Of course, he puts his body to the max just to go back and prove that Noah Lyles' race was a fluke, just to prove something to himself. I don't know, but he could have went to Milrose games and proved it against killers. He didn't have to go to a college meet and run against collegiate guys, which was another sign that he was soft. So when you add all these facts up, you start to see a person. It identifies a person that clearly has some type of mental issues or has some type of self-esteem issues to the point where they just are scared of men. They don't compete well under pressure. Not saying he's not talented, but there's clearly something wrong when something will allow you to risk your career by going and race against college guys. These are college guys he's running against. This wasn't a Olympic final. This man is running like he's racing for the Olympic final. So something is psychologically wrong with this guy. He doesn't have the right people when he's around him. And this is the same thing I was talking about from 2022 and 2021. The man is soft. He is not psychologically there. There's something psychologically wrong with this man that will compel him to go and run 3 races at this Clemson meet. Not go to Milrose. Don't run against professional guys, even if they're not paying you right. What you do is you still show up. You take the less pay. You still show up. You dominate them and say, next time I come back, y'all paying me to the max, or I ain't coming back. But you still beat those guys. Instead, he goes and runs against college guys. He runs 60-meter races in one day, and his body is never the same again. That starts an over 2-year journey of now being injured all over again. So now he's injured in 2020 and 23. Not long after that race, he's injured. He does not run well outdoors. He does not make the team last year to the World Championships to go to Budapest, Hungary. So that season is over. Here we are now in an Olympic year. All of a sudden, the picture that you guys see on the screen right now pops up. He gets married. Congratulations. Getting married, especially for a black man establishing a family, is a very beautiful thing. Yes, he got him a mixed chick. Yeah, he got him a red bone. Fine. We're not even complaining about that. That's not even the issue. But the thing that concerned me is if you're a killer and you a track and field guru, you're a guy that people should be scared of. Why would you get married in an Olympic year? Everybody knows that guys who are married and sprinters, your career is over. So yes, when this picture came out, y'all, and I saw that he got married, guess what I said? I knew it was over at that point. That's why I posted this online. I said, I'll read it if the writing's too small. I said, this is on Instagram. I said, congrats to Trayvon Bromell, one of the softest athletes of this era, getting married. Sprinters who are married usually perform poorly. Sprinting is a single man's game. The hunger in a married man simply isn't there. Getting married during an Olympic year is a telltale sign that he knows his career is over. Happy to see him move on to the next chapter of his life. Many blessings to them both. Hope he got a prenup. This was posted on April the 29th of this year. So I put that out there, guys, because everybody knows that sprinters, for the most part, I'm talking about 99% of the time. If you're married, you basically have no chance of being really successful in track and field. It's just really what it is. If you're married and you're sprinter and you're black, you got to have that hunger. You can't be a guy who's married, sitting at home, chilling, living good, wife cooking, walking around with booty shorts on. You can't live like that. You got to be a young thoroughbred. A young thoroughbred. So after that happens, not even a month and a half later, the next thing I see is that Trayvon is injured. He's injured. All the blogs, everyone is showing and saying that, hey, it's over. Trayvon is injured. His Olympics are over. He had to withdraw. He can't even participate at the trials. It's over for him. And I think it's unfortunate. I think that had he listened to me several years ago and looked into himself to see what was really important, maybe track and field is not important to him. But had he looked inside himself at that point, Trayvon Bromell will be in a much different position in his career right now. He wouldn't be injured this year. He'll be focusing on the Olympics, and he would have had his priorities in order. So I'm not going to beat the man up. I'm just going to say I was right. And here we are, year, 2 years, 3 years later. And once again, I'm saying this to y'all. Trayvon Bromell is soft. He's soft, and he should have never came out and spoke against me. We will always be enemies. And I hope that he never makes another Olympic team or another world championship team. Anyway, guys, this is another episode of The Biggest Hater in Track and Field. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.